Hi everyone, welcome to Manakova channel. In this video, I want to share with you the rules of voice hygiene. How to make sure that you and your voice stay healthy. How to avoid any voice injuries and what you need to do to sing till the end of the time like a songbird. A healthy voice is the voice without vocal fold disorders and which functions well throughout its entire range. Let's get started. So here are 13 rules of voice hygiene that will help you keep your vocal tract safe and sound. You don't have to worry about any injuries because you won't get any. The first, work and rest balance. You can easily get a vocal disorder if you sing every day for 8 hours without any rest. Obviously, you and your voice will be exhausted and therefore injury may occur. Some of my students had that problem. They wanted to sing better so badly, so they just abused their voice, thinking that if they practiced longer, it would be improve their skills faster. But nope, they just got a host voice, and you'd get this even if your singing technique was perfect. It doesn't matter whether you know how to sing properly or not, your voice gets tired too, just like us. So it's very important to take a pause and have a rest while you practice. The second, 3 hours lessons with pauses. Having a 3-hour vocal lesson with pauses every 45 minutes is more than enough. Yep, like I said, just singing 8 hours a day won't improve your voice skills. Instead, it leads to fatigue. So be wise and moderate. 3 hours a day with breaks is perfectly fine and more productive. The third, solo concerts without a break only for 1 or 2 hours. Yes, I know, some singers have 3-hour concerts, but they actually do take little pauses from singing. They don't sing constantly throughout the show. I've been to many concerts and yes, they can put an instrumental part at the end of the song and take a 10-minute break while the musicians play, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, you can sing 3 hours if you compose your set list properly. For example, first you sing an easy song, then a complicated one, then 2 easy songs, then 2 complicated, and so on. Like that, you'll have a chance to rest a bit because singing constantly for 3 hours is really a challenge. With that said, take your breaks or sing no longer than 2 hours without them. The fourth, 2 days of rest before the next concert. It's very important to rest at least 2 days after your concert. Sure, it can happen that you have 2 shows in a row and only then 2 days of rest, that's okay. But if you have concerts every day, for example in touring, it's solid reason to get concerned and have a serious conversation with your manager. With each day of performing, you'll get more and more tired, so every next concert will get less and less effective. There are so many examples of world stars having an insane schedule of touring and losing their voices after that. So they had to spend a decent amount of time to heal. Like Adele, by the way, if you want a video about stars and their vocal injuries, write a comment. So please take care of yourself and have a proper rest. Find this work-rest balance and be happy. My favorite one, don't sing if you're sick. If you caught a cold, if you got a strep throat or laryngitis, then it's better not to sing at all. Often serious vocal injuries occur simply because you sing when you're sick. And believe me, it happens more often than you think. You may know yourself in a situation when you have an important performance coming up, but you got laryngitis and you decide to sing anyway and deal with the illness later. But no. This decision may lead you to vocal fold hemorrhage or even worse, vocal cord paralysis. In this case, you'll spend years to treat these problems and lose way more concerts. Are you sure you want to take this risk? Okay, next, no singing after eating. It's better to start singing only 2 or 2.5 hours after eating. Why? Because our gastrointestinal tract produces bile or reflux where we eat, and this reflux is very toxic to our vocal tract. I have several students who had this reflux problem, so I know how toxic this is. Yeah, that's not too obvious, but your stomach and voice are directly connected. To avoid any problems of this kind, it's better to eat from 2 to 2.5 hours before singing. Just let the food digest so you don't have the reflux coming up your throat. Yep, our diet includes all irritating products. Too sour, too spicy, too cold, or too hot. Just remember the precious rule about reflux and eat healthy food. Remember that any kind of irritating food leaves an impact on your singing. Next, warm up. You should warm yourself up before a concert, but not with spirit drinks. Just like in sports, singing have their warming up exercises, stretching comes before workout. So you won't try to lift 100 kilogram right away you came to the gym, right? The same goes to singing. We should stretch and warm up our muscles with some frills, for example, lip rolls, make your voice function throughout its entire range. Ninth, avoid singing in unfavorable conditions. It's better to avoid singing somewhere if it's colder than 14 degrees Celsius or where humidity or gas level is too high. 10th, it is not recommended to sing during menstruation. The first 3 days of menstruation is not the best time to sing. The hormone level changes drastically during menstruation period and mucosal swelling occurs. Of course, if you're touring these days, you can't just cancel a concert, but you can measure out the load of your voice and plan the concert in a less exhausting way. An overload of your voice during menstruation may lead to a vocal fold hemorrhage, and I'm sure girls notice that their voices are weaker in these days. Now you know why. Okay. Next, say no to bad habits. No smoking, no alcohol. Well, okay, I know there are singers who build their career with a smoky voice, but you may guess that any kind of bad habits will lead your voice to no good. You can make it your signature sound like Miley Cyrus or any rockers that are afraid of nothing. Still, let's be honest, your voices aren't invincible. So if you want a long-lasting, stable career, it would be the best decision to exclude everything that may hurt your voice. Of course, in moderate amounts, it won't affect you that much, but I warned you. Okay, next one. A 24-hour work week. A work week should be longer than 23 to 24 hours for people of voice-speech professions. This refuses on more to work rest rule. Even if you are a teacher and work 8 hours a day, it may be dangerous for your voice. It needs rest, just like all of us. To be honest, that's one of the biggest problems when I have lessons with my students. My work day can last up to 10 hours. And that's really hard for your voice. So that's why I do a checkup with my phoniatrist regularly. And the last one, preventive examination by a phoniatrist. I think you've guessed that the last rule is undergo preventive examination by a phoniatrist every 6 months. Or at least an annual checkup. If you work with your voice, it helps to control and keep your vocal tract healthy. I've heard a story how one guy showed to a phoniatrist just for a preventive checkup, and they told something like, "Why did you even go there if you're perfectly fine? Come back if something bother you or if you get sick. Come back if something bother you or if you get sick." So yeah, that's a doctor you should not to choose for your preventive examinations, which are really very important. Find yourself a real professional who will help you keep your voice in good condition. And that's it. Leave a like to this video if you found it useful and subscribe to my channel. Write a comment about your rules of voice hygiene and what problems you have to work with. A healthy voice belongs to a healthy body. So take care and see you in the next video.